let's take a few seconds to see how this is working, because this is the first time. This is an exciting day, the first live stream on DanishTube. I want to see if I can follow along here on the laptop at the same time. I don't know if it's possible. Let's see. I'm wearing this really stupid hat that I wouldn't really ever wear out in public, because I got inspired by this: rise with the fallen. Often when we are learning, when we are putting ourselves out into the world, we might feel like we've fallen down. Sometimes we feel like somebody has pushed us down, that they have forced us. I'm going to just check out this chat function here. That they have, I don't know, forced their will, they're pushing us down and we have to get back up. So this little baby has inspired this, this live stream. And I guess this topic, having an unapologetic, hey Igor, what's going on, man? Welcome. This unapologetic mindset is something we can apply to all areas of our life, right? But of course, and all languages also. Of course, I have my mind set to Danish, so I'm thinking about people and you guys that are learning Danish. But yeah, you can think maybe how can we expand this theme. So you can write in the chat as if you get ideas as we go through it. But I guess this thing of not being apologetic, it's not about being arrogant. Or, yeah, it's not about being arrogant, but being confident, about not being apologetic unnecessarily. And with that, learning how to be humble, right? Accepting your current language level. If possible, celebrating it. That would be even better, that you can celebrate your skills, no matter what your level is. So we can strip away this negativity. I was recently reading this book called Hey Brooke, hvad så? Velkommen. I was recently reading this book called Parenting with Presence by Susan Stiefelman, I believe it's her name. And she had this really good analogy that I could really relate to. I'm learning karate, and karate in itself is really humbling. Like, you know, you have to put on this white pajamas, it's not pajamas, but you have to put on the karate gi, and you have to go barefoot. And karate is very structured also. Like, you cannot just go in there and expect I'm really into fitness, so I sort of in the back of my mind thought, yeah, I'm going to go in there, show these people how it's done. Like, I had a bit of arrogance in myself. But very quickly that was wiped away, because karate is so structured. Like, you cannot jump forward. Like, you learn this part first, and you spend weeks and weeks learning that part. And then you have an exam, and of course with the belts, and then you can go to the next part. And not only that, there's a lot of small things, like when you are in the dojo, the beginner, the person that is the new person, they are always here on the left, and you are standing in the order of the people that are more experienced, right? So this is also very humbling, that you accept that this is your level, this is where I am. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not, and everybody is there to learn, and we learn from each other. So for me, that was very, very humbling. And then to go back to this book, she was talking about your feet. And I noticed this, that I don't know if something happened when I was a kid, if somebody said something about my feet or what, but I've always had this thing about my feet. Like, and I know feet in general are not known to be the prettiest things in the world. But she talked about that your feet are the things that have carried you through your entire life. You know, without your feet, you couldn't walk. I mean, you should be celebrating your feet. And I heard this, and I spent some minutes like standing and looking at my feet like, that's really interesting. Suddenly my mind started to change, and I started to really appreciate my feet. Like, I love you, feet. Thank you for carrying me through life. Thank you for letting me run, to be able to kick balls, to be able to do karate and kick people in the face. Well, I've never kicked anyone in the face yet, but maybe one day. So, yeah, it's really humbling. And I guess you can apply this to all aspects of your life, including language learning, that we often don't have this appreciation for our current level. We feel like we have to apologize. You agree, man? Du er enig. Det er så fedt. So I guess it's about having a bit of pride and self-acknowledgement. Why are we apologizing? So to go into it, like a few weeks back, I realized that I'm always apologizing for my language level. I'm learning Spanish, I'm here in Argentina, and very often I would say to somebody like, sorry, my Spanish is a bit bad, you know? And I've also heard people saying it to me, people that are Spanish speakers speaking English to me, they apologize for the language. And I instantly say, no, don't worry, you speak well. And yeah, I realized this, and it's kind of weird. I started to think, like, why am I apologizing? Because I am putting myself out there. I am learning this language, and I didn't do anything wrong, right? For a while, I was asking people here, hey, do you speak English? And a lot of people do not speak English. So I eventually got it out of my mind and stopped asking people if they speak English. So now I assume that they don't. And I take the responsibility for myself. It's like taking the power back. And it's also when you say sorry to somebody, it's as if you are coming from a weak position, right? You're like, I'm sorry, my language is so bad. When really you should be like, I'm speaking language. Yeah, my language is not perfect, but you can understand me. And it's like, a big part of language is not only the words you say, it's also your body, your hands. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I discovered a lot of holes in my language, and I had to like use my body and my hands to tell him what I wanted. And after that, I used it to my advantage, because then I could see where my holes in my language were. So I went home and I looked for the words that I didn't know in that moment, and then I learned them. So it was kind of like free learning. And I've noticed it depends who you're speaking with. Like, I have some friends who understand a lot of English, so I don't feel like I have to apologize for them, to them. But det er nemt at bekymre, at man ser dum ud. Yeah, it's easy to feel like you look stupid. But the thing is, like, this thing of saying sorry, it's also a part of different cultures, and like these words, sorry, unfortunately, bad, like they all have negative connotations, right? Like, even though we know that we didn't do anything wrong, I'm just going to take some coffee because I'm kind of cold. We didn't do anything wrong, but we're saying sorry. Why? Actually, I first learned about this. I was working for Primark. Maybe you know Primark. I was actually working in Primark, and they had like awesome customer service training. And part of the training was they had these doom words that you could not say. And if at any time you said these words, your colleague would say doom. For den longer snakke til folk. Yeah, it's really hard not to feel stressed. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, your colleague would jump out on you at work and say doom if you said this word. And they trained us to think in this way, that we should not be apologizing for somebody. Like, if somebody brings something back, for example, and they want to exchange a jacket, for whatever reason, your initial, the first words you think of is, oh, I'm sorry, let me take a look. And like, automatically by saying sorry, you're coming from that state of, it's my fault. I made the mistake. I'm shitty. So we were not allowed to use these words. And also, unfortunately, like, I don't know, do you have these shoes in size 45? Whatever. No, unfortunately not. It's a very small sort of nuance, but by saying unfortunately, it has that negative connotation. Even though it's not my fault. So getting out of that habit. And also using the word bad. Right? I've said many times, oh, my Spanish is so bad. But actually it's not. It's not bad. My Spanish is good. It's just at a certain level. Maybe it's at a beginner, upper beginner level. But it's actually pretty good. Average person has 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. 80% are negative. Oh, that's high. That's a high percent. Yeah, my language isn't bad. It's just at a certain level. So why are we saying it's bad? But we get stressed. We get very stressed in that moment, and it's automatic. Like somebody came, knocked on this door last night. She wanted to borrow something to open wine, and I didn't understand her, what she asked me for, and even though I'm telling you about this now, it still came out of my mouth like saying sorry, and I stopped and said, oh, fuck, Liam, you've been thinking about this for weeks. Why are you still doing it? Det regner meget her i Argentina i dag og i går. Det er lidt koldt. Jeg er ikke noget varm på min lejlighed, så jeg står her og fryser. I never thought I would say that I'm cold in Argentina, but it's actually colder in my apartment than outside. So I'm completely hyped up on coffee because it's the only thing keeping me warm. Okay, how do we apply this to Danish, to being in Denmark? Because it's not Argentina, you know. People here don't generally speak English. But in Denmark they do. So that's a problem, because it's easy to be lazy and to give the power to the people you're talking with, right? Because there's nothing wrong with speaking English in Denmark. The Danes really love to do it, but there's a huge benefit if you speak Danish and you don't apologize. Again, like if maybe the person you are talking to switches to English when they see that your level is low or whatever, but you can stay in Danish. There's no reason that you have to switch to English just because that person does. I have many friends where I speak in Danish and they reply in English, or I speak in English and they reply in Spanish, or whatever it is. So it can work. Oh, I'm really cold. So like, instead of saying something like, I don't know, undskyld, mit dansk er så dårligt, eller jeg taler ikke så godt dansk, you know, I don't speak very good Danish, I'm sorry. What if we said instead like, jeg er i gang med at lære dansk. I'm currently learning, jeg hedder noget at skifte, jeg får så bare præcis. Sådan skal det være. You just have to stick to your guns, like it doesn't matter if because Danes like to speak English, so it's okay, but it doesn't mean that you have to. But again, it's the mindset. It's the thing of, I want to speak Danish, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, instead of saying, sorry, my Danish is not good, we could say, I'm learning Danish. It's exciting. Det er spændende, men jeg er nybegynder. Ikke? Gider du at tale lidt langsomt? Would you mind to speak slowly? And they will. Often, I think that we think, how do I say? We think that we have to reply very quickly when we're in a conversation, and we get stressed, and that's in that moment where we're like, maybe somebody will say something to you and you think you didn't understand. Oh, fuck, my language is so shitty, I'm not good at Danish. But always remember that even in your own language, your native language, sometimes, very often actually, people say something to you and you don't catch what they said. You're like, oh, what did you say? Huh? I didn't get that. Can you repeat it? And sometimes that's the case, because sometimes when you ask someone to repeat it, they repeat it and they're like, okay. Now I understand. That happens to me a lot now in Spanish. I'm all the time saying, what? Can you repeat it? But I'm not just like instantly beating myself up, thinking my... tak min ven, det er så fedt, du siger det. Yeah. Another thing, min største frygt er, at jeg ikke kan huske et ord, så jeg fryser. Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay not to remember a word. That's the point. We can never know every single word. This is also a very humbling thing for me. in your native language, think how big your native language is. You cannot know every single word that exists. It's impossible. Sometimes I get a word maybe in Danish and I translate it to English, and then I don't even know what the word is in English and I have to look that up. So it's like you can go on and on and on. So you have to be very humble and accept that you cannot know everything. You don't know every single word. You're never going to. There's always going to be a new word that comes. So we don't know every word. We make mistakes, and we call ourselves stupid also. For example, many times in your life, I'm sure, oh my God, I'm so clumsy. Like today I dropped crackers all over the floor. Yesterday it was chickpeas. I've smashed glasses, like all the time. And I noticed that in these moments, what's the first thing you do? I automatically go to Danish, like, oh, fuck for helvede, you fucking idiot, Liam. Like, I call myself an idiot. I say I'm stupid or something like that. It's another mindset. That's actually good. That's an advantage when the word is the same. Anyway, it's a small mindset change to when you drop something on the floor, not to call yourself stupid. No, you're not stupid. You just dropped it on the floor. Wow, you're a bit clumsy. And I did it today. I dropped it on the floor, and the first thing I thought was, "Damn idiot, man." Oh, I was just about to eat those crackers, and now they're on the fucking floor. Oh well, 3 seconds. But it's like, you can't. Of course, you apologize if you break something that is somebody else's, right? But you don't beat yourself up about it. It was an accident. You don't. It's not to be hard on yourself. And it's the same with your language learning. It's not that you should apologize because you have a hole in your language. It's just that, okay, I found a hole. Now I need to pick up that hole and fill it in and learn the things that I need to learn. You can capitalize on it. You can use it to your advantage. It's free and simple learning. So, yeah. I guess you can use this in all areas of your life. Look out for these moments of self-deprecation, because they will come a lot, not just in your language, but in like all areas of your life. Well, guys, that was pretty much my thoughts of the day. I hope it was clear. I hope you got something out of it. Drop something in the comments, and I've created a forum on DanishTube.com. You have to remind yourself a lot with language that it's not linear. Sometimes you learn faster than others. Yeah, exactly. Everybody learns differently. Yes, selvtag, det var så lidt. So I created this forum on DanishTube.com. If you want to talk about this topic, or if you want to talk about any other topic, it can be with Danish. You have any specific question. I hope that this can become a bit of a community on the website where we can help each other and learn for free. We can teach each other. Så det var det, venner. Tak fordi I så med. Vi ses næste gang. Hej hej.